Hello and welcome to another edition of the Forum on Canal TV International. Today our guest is Alexander Powers. He is the promoter of a platform called Camwood.tv. What is it all about? You may have heard about Nollywood or Bollywood, but we don't want to talk about Hollywood anymore, but just these two industries, that is Nollywood and Bollywood, are really major creators of jobs and also increasing the GDPs of both Nigeria and India. Can Cameroon replicate that? It appears that is what Alexander Powers want to do here in Cameroon. Please do not go away. Once again, you're welcome on Canal TV English for the program, The Forum. As I announced at the introduction of this program, our guest today is Alexander Powers of Camwood.tv. What is it all about? I think the idea is to promote and make that the Cameroonian film industry, for those of you who thought it doesn't exist, it does exist, but what he wants to do is to make the producers try to live off their trade. Mr. Alexander Powers, it's a pleasure to have you here as guest today.
Elie, thank you so much for having me. It's always an honor to be on Canal TV and to be the presence with you. You're such a legendary reporter. It's great to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now tell me, as I was saying, you know, there are some people who think, and if correct, anyway, there was a former director of STV, Mr. Sal, who was the director, who said Cameroonians who wanted to watch Cameroonian movies on STV, which is a rival TV station to ours, should be patient because Cameroonian movie industry doesn't exist. And do you also concur to that idea, or what's your take on that?
No, I mean they're already the platform's already got committed over 100 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them have won awards. They're very high quality. They have good content. They're excellent actors, actresses. The talent's here. Even today, they're shooting in Boya right now. I spoke to people this morning. They're shooting movies. So the industry is alive. The issue is it's not being monetized.
Mm-hmm.
So I was invited about 6 months ago to meet with Elie, and he's a major producer, and he's also one of the leaders of the Cameroon International Film Festival. And I would call him the pioneer of the international industry, mm-hmm. where he's trying to expose Cameroon to the international markets. Mm-hmm. And we discussed this opportunity, and I said, look, let me look into it. Let me find you guys a platform that is not only going to make you money, but is also highly sophisticated so we can compete with the international markets. So Camwood.tv will be live. It's online now. People can sign up, but the movies are being uploaded as we speak. So within the next 10 days, people can start subscribing and paying for the movies. It's all pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. So each producer, each movie gets its own revenue stream. Mm-hmm. And then the remainder of the profits, we give them the majority of the revenue share. The remainder will go to the expenses, but then the platform itself, very much like Netflix, is going to finance our own production.
Okay. And
then we can monetize that on our own. So it will be, that's how we're going to do the platform itself.
All right. If I understand well, Camwood.tv is a kind of platform.
Right.
And now that is a platform you want to monetize. And now how or what really inspired you to choose Cameroon, whereas you have an established industry in Nigeria that you will not bother yourself a lot, but why did you choose Cameroon?
I think Cameroon chose me, to be honest with you. I mean, I've been out here for doing business for about 7 years. I like the country, I like the people, tremendous opportunity, and this one just kind of landed on my doorstep, where I'm more helping the community. as opposed to trying to profit from them, helping them. I want to see the producers and the movie industry have money. I don't want to see them being, making a movie. They're artists. They're creating art. But if they're not making any money, they can't survive. It's not how art works. You have to be able to monetize this stuff. I mean, look at Nigeria. You mentioned this prior. Nigeria's GDP, 30% of that comes from the entertainment industry. So if we can get a platform where we can monetize the art, the money comes back. It's not just for the actors and actresses and producers. You have the contractors. You have the food suppliers. You have the local workers. You have, I mean, it creates a whole industry. And then, the saying is that for every person that creates a job, 10 people eat. So it can spread throughout the entire country and even into some of the other CEMAC zone countries as well. I mean, we're open to, we've got some Nigerian content coming on as well. And like I was explaining, it's pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. Now, explain, for example, those who are watching you all over the world, because people watch us in Sierra Leone, especially in Freetown, and in Nigeria as well, or even here in Cameroon. Now, the idea, if I understand well, Camwood.tv is a platform.
That's right.
And now, if you have any Cameroonian or African producer who wants to be part of it, what does it take to be part of Cameroon TV? Well,
they would contact me, or they contact the platform, and they would say, we have content. Most of the Cameroonians, the major producers, are already involved with us. So you
talk about Elie, something, not
Gore.
Yeah.
He's got this long name, but I call him Gore. But everyone knows him. He's famous, right?
Yes.
He came to me and said, let's organize this. So that's how it started. Now, the platform we're using is the same platform that Columbia Pictures uses, MGM, Paramount. So these are major U.S. Hollywood studios use the exact same platform. So what it allows for us to do is have a top-of-the-line platform for the content, and the billing is handled. We've got billing systems in 8 different for every continent. There's a billing system. There's 8 different billing systems, so anybody can access it. And we're going to add mobile money to it as well. So we hope that we can get the African community involved, and especially the expat community.
Yes.
They
get a diaspora.
Right, because there's so many of them and they miss their own content. I mean, even for example, like Canal TV could put their content on there under a subscription based. It wouldn't have to be a pay-per-view, but if you had a new show that you wanted to monetize it, because you mentioned that most people see Canal TV within Africa, but there's a lot that don't get to see it. So there is a way where you can monetize your platform by charging a subscription, where for every 30 days, it's like $3 or something, and then you have people from the United States who want to watch Canal TV, they can pay for it. Canal will then make money off it, and everyone's happy. So because I mean, money's the
key.
Yeah, you have to have money. I mean, it's reality.
Now tell us, you said already you have about 100 films on this site that is Camwood.tv.
Yeah,
right?
We've got committed 100 films.
Already 100.
100, and these are made in Cameroon.
Only in Cameroon.
And these are films. Now we also have TV series. We also will have concerts.
And all of them produced in Cameroon by Cameroonian producers.
Right now, yes.
Right now.
We will expand. There are some Nigerians that are joining us, and there may be other countries in CEMAC that are welcomed. Even in the ECOWAS, they're welcome.
They are welcome.
They're more than welcome.
All right. Now, in how to pay, because it is not like when you're in the United States or in France, the payment system is easier. Now, what are the methods if somebody will now Google while we're speaking or logs on www.camwood.tv, if I'm not wrong?
That's correct.
And now he wants to watch any movie from Cameroon. How will he pay to have it?
Right now it's credit card based or ATM card, but we will be adding a API for mobile money that will cover about 17 countries.
That's MTN, Orange.
Yeah, all the big names are on there, Airtel. So that's just one thing in the process. It is a little complicated for Africans because ATM cards and credit cards are a relatively new concept to Africa. Everyone's into cash, but it's a curve, and we'll get there. and we'll add the mobile money to the system, and so people have a little bit more access. But you know, like a bank card, if you have a bank card, like, you know, it's not easy. You know, we've talked about this offline. You know, the fact that the average African salary is very low.
Exactly.
And I still can't figure out how people survive off of the salaries that people make here. So it's a problem for me. It's a problem for the economy. You and I have spoken about this many times about what the solution is, but we won't go into that today.
Exactly.
My belief is that we have to start somewhere.
Okay, let me ask you something. You said, you gave an example of Nigeria, where the film industry, Nollywood, contributes to the about 30% of the country's GDP, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it can be replicated in Cameroon?
Yeah. And I think the other thing is that money from the international community will come in, because you have Asia, you have North America, you have Europe. That money, that not just Africans are going to watch these programs and television, so money will come back into the community. So as opposed to all the money leaving, you'll have money coming back in, and that money gets reinvested. Either there's new movies, there's new production, people make some money, they build a house, they're living a better living standard, they can pay people more. I mean, it's a whole circle.
Okay. Now, there's a question I would like to ask, because I think last week I received a film producer here, a lady, I've forgotten the name, and she was complaining about the kind of disorganization within the Cameroonian film industry.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
It is disorganized.
It's disorganized.
I think there's two sides to it. You have the Francophone and then you have the Anglophone. The Anglophone's a little bit more organized, but then again, maybe the Francophone's a little bit organized, but they're not working together. Mm-hmm. And but again, there's no platform to monetize. That's where we're coming in. We're trying to bridge this gap, where we want people to make money. I mean, for example, we're charging for each movie is about $5 or 3,000 CFA. Mm-hmm. People say, "Oh, that's a lot of money," but it's not, because if someone can sell, a producer sells 20,000 movies or 20,000 views, that's $100,000 coming in to the producer, so they can produce more movies. You know, that's important. I mean, if they're not making money, they can't produce, so you can't get the artwork. And you know, I mean, like I said, Africa is difficult in the sense that people's you know, household incomes are low.
Low, yeah.
But in the expat community, that's like not even a cup of coffee. I mean, Starbucks charges like $7 or $8 for a cup of coffee. So, you know, we figured, look, we'd focus on the expat community, the Diaspora. Hopefully, we'll get the African community to join us. We want them to. Okay,
now how do you make the Cameroonian diaspora, or the African diaspora, anyway, since for a start is Cameroonian based, because you say Camwood, but you're going to expand. Now, how do you attract the diaspora to come onto Cameroon, Camwood.tv?
Well, one of the ways is being on programs like this, but also we're working on the forums. We're working, the U.S. Embassy, Cameroonian Embassy in the U.S. is helping us. They have an arts culture minister or an advisor who's helping us. We're very appreciative. So he's helping us organize the Diaspora in the U.S. I'm very optimistic that the Cameroonian community in the U.S. will help. And I've gotten such very good feedback from many of them. They're great people, and we're very excited about it. And you know, like I said, it's not about making money for me. Mm-hmm. It's about making money for the industry.
The industry.
Yeah, because it needs it. Without the money, you can't have an industry.
Okay, now we have a household producer here, Emmanuel Bivrika. He has produced 2 films. If he wanted his film to get onto onto Camwood.tv, how can Emmanuel proceed?
It's easy. I mean, he would contact the platform, or in this case, he would contact me.
Yeah.
Then he would give us the information. We put it in, and then we'd upload the video. And the system has highly advanced encryption and intellectual right property protection. It's like I said, Hollywood studios are using the same technology. Mm-hmm. So no, it won't be stolen. And every time someone views his movie, he gets paid.
Okay.
And he has a back-end access. The producers have access to the back-end. They can see their revenues. They can see how many downloads, how many views. So it's a very sophisticated system. And by doing this, each producer will be able to start finally monetizing their work, which is very important.
Now, the other question I would like to ask, in Cameroonian context, there are two cultures, two languages. For a start, you are mostly focused on the English-speaking parts, because, as you said, they are much more better organized than the French-speaking part, right?
Yeah.
But are you, at a certain point in time, going to create similar platforms for the French-speaking movie industry of Cameroon and that of the Anglophones?
Well, this system has French.
Oh, great.
It's French and English. It even will translate into French. So we're focused on both. And there's the third language, which is Pidgin.
Pidgin, great.
So
Yes, I see.
We've got Pidgin English, and we've got French. So
okay, and do you have a number of movies produced here in Cameroon in Pidgin English, like within Nigeria? There's a lot of.
Yeah, I think that even the Kiss of Death, which was the award winner at CAMIF.
But do you speak some Pidgin?
No define, you know.
Okay, no define, right.
I know the go.
Okay, and you took part, you acted in one of those films, Kiss of Death.
I'm going to be. No, I was not in Kiss of Death, but the director, Elie, he's a very successful director-producer. He's invited me to be in one of his next movies. So, but I will be speaking Pidgin.
Okay.
I can only imagine what role it will be.
Yeah.
I'm the evil white man, right?
The evil white one, okay. We never know.
Sure.
But now, tell if you had an advice to give to the Cameroonian, those who are already in the industry, or those who aspire to come into the industry as an expert in terms of monetization, what advice can you give to them? Well,
I mean, it's not just the movies. We're also doing TV and we're doing music and concerts. So if you're an artist in Cameroon, Africa, you want to work with us, because we're already talking to venture cap groups. We've gotten very good feedback from investment. So the money's coming for the marketing and advertising. So we hope to make this just like a Roku, one of these large platforms.
Yeah, Roku, I think, began by two Nigerians, right?
That's right.
Yes.
And they've had great success. So, what we want to do is we want to see people here monetize their work. We want them to make money. We want them to, drive around in their little Mercedes, and their families have homes, and the industry's not broke. We want new production. So in order to do that, you have to monetize this, and that's where we come in. I mean, we're simply just a platform. The artists in the industry, they're already out there. They just have to come with us and work with us, and then from there, the benefits will come.
Now, all what you've been saying are just pretty positive. What are the challenges that Camwood .tv is facing?
Well, normally I would say a platform like this would have startup issues technically, but since we were smart enough to lease an advanced software that gives us an edge, it'll be on Apple TV, it'll be on Amazon Prime, it'll be on Roku, it'll be on their apps for Apple and Android. I think the biggest hurdle is the transition from people making them pay for entertainment. People don't like, specifically in Africa, they don't like to pay.
Everything should be free.
Everything should be for free. And it's not just Africa. You see this in India as well, where people just don't want to pay for it. So we're almost forcing people to pay. And I know some of the producers have spoken to me, like, well, what happens if they don't watch? I said, they don't watch. If they can't afford it or they don't want to pay for it, that's the trade-off. Unfortunately, it's not warm and fuzzy, but if you keep giving it away for free, you guys are going to go bankrupt. You can't have, for example, Gore, he's made 4 movies. I think he invested over $100,000 into his movies. He hasn't recovered anything.
Just like a loss-making venture.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to set fire, I mean, if you're an artist and you love the art, it's one thing, but it's like I call it a rich man's hobby. Then, it's not an industry; it's a hobby. So what we want to do is make this an industry, because the benefits are going to spread throughout the country. It's not just, and this is just the beginning. Think about where we are, and the Minister of Arts and Culture was at the award ceremony in Boya, and he made it very clear that it's a priority for the country as part of their 2035 initiative to build their entertainment industry. So we are following up on this, and we're working with them to help develop it. And we hope that the ministry we've put some contracts in for them, so that the industry needs new equipment, TV lighting.
Yeah.
They need training. There's like specifically lighting sound, video quality. The actors are good.
And who is going to the video, all those needs that the film industry of Cameroon needs?
Right.
Who is going to foot for the bill?
Well, there are two options. Either Cameroon government fits it, which is, unlike the United States, something unique, which I appreciate, and I think it's very possible. The minister's been very open to it. I think it's very important that they do it. And if not, we'll bring in private sector. We'll raise money. And look, the international community wants to see Cameroon be successful, especially their arts and films, because there's really a lot of talent here. I mean, real talent. Like there are people that are here in Cameroon that could be working in the U.S. entertainment industry.
Really?
Yeah, there are like 3 or 4 that could definitely do it. And right now they spend most of their time working in Nigeria. They're in that industry. They're working in that sector because it pays.
No, you said at a certain point in time that there are some Nigerians producers who want to hook up on Camwood TV.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they, because they are already big, well organized, won't they just swallow or flood the Cameroonian talents or the Cameroonian movies?
It's possible. I think the attraction to our platform is that, unlike your Roku, we don't do like a subscription where we don't charge you $3 and you can watch everything. Because I sat down with our team and I said, how do you manage this? I'm supposed to give this guy 50 sefa for every view. It doesn't make sense. Like, how do you? I don't know how they manage that platform.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps they make it in terms of the population larger than Cameroon. Maybe that's why they make a lot of money.
I don't know how well they're doing. All I know is that I'd like to keep it simple, where each movie, each product is sold separately, so that each producer benefits. If one movie makes millions of dollars and another movie makes $2, someone wins. Mm-hmm. But if I have content where everybody's watching one group of movies, then the other movies aren't making money, and then I'm supposed to take money from that group that's making money. We're not a socialist system. This is a capitalist
system
platform. We want, if you have talent and you have good content, and also if you're a good marketer, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you have a good following. A lot of these artists and actresses, they have 20, 30, 40,000 people following them on Twitter.
Yes, you've just said something. One other impediment to Cameroonian film actors or those in the cultural business, one impediment to them being known is that some of them are not on social media platforms.
Right.
How do you try to?
Well, we're going to change that. We've got some really talented bloggers and entertainment marketers that are going to work with us, and they're going to help us. What we're going to do is not just monetize the industry, but we want to help structure it so that the actors and actresses become famous. I mean, we want them to be famous internationally. I mean, they shouldn't be not just household names. They should be international names. They're beautiful. They're smart. They're good. They're very good at what they do. We want to see them in the international film festivals. We want to see them getting invited to Hollywood to be in movies. There's a potential for a synergy. I was thinking there could be a U.S. Bollywood, Nigerian, Cameroonian mixed type movie. There's so much opportunity there because there's all this talent. And the other thing that you have is that the cost to produce outside of Hollywood is not anywhere near what a Hollywood movie production. A Hollywood movie production could cost $150 million. Here in Cameroon, they're making movies for $30,000. Now, obviously, we'd want to push up the quality. We'd want to increase it, but I mean, it just gives you a perspective. I mean, you could make 400 movies, 500 movies, maybe 1,000 movies off of one movie in the United States.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, Alexander Powers, it was a great pleasure having you here on set today, and we are happy that you are here to help the Cameroonian movie industry grow and certainly make it to become more monetized, so that people should live off their trade. So whenever you have any major Cameroonian star, tell him or her that he's always welcome here.
We will. Elie, thank you so much for having me. We'll bring them. We will bring them. They want to be here. Trust me.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alexander. Okay, you've heard it all. He is here, Alexander Powers of Camwood.tv, that is www.camwood.tv, to promote Cameroonian movie industry or make it become monetized. It is not a socialist-based system. Well, stay tuned on programs of Canal Do English, and coming up is Pidgin News with Michael Foncha.